Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
We've got another week of hot and humid weather ahead of us, and even this afternoon it's kicking up some strong storms in parts of the region. Let's get more on that from Justin in your First Alert forecast. Justin?
And thank you, Andrea, and good evening, everybody. Let's take a look at what we are seeing right now in terms of our radar. We do have one severe thunderstorm warning just north of Fargo set to expire at 5 o'clock. We still have a strong storm capable of producing maybe gusty winds up to 50 miles per hour and some small hail. Looks like it should just skirt Fargo to the north before moving into our Minnesota counties. We'll keep our eyes on this one. Also, we have some stronger storms from Valley City south toward the South Dakota border over Lemoore right now, between Lemoore and Lisbon, approaching the Gwinner area. Any of these could have some small hail and some gusty winds, but the good news is that most of the region is mainly dry, and that's going to be the story through the evening. We do have mostly cloudy skies. They're going to turn partly cloudy and then mostly clear through the overnight. Temperatures falling back from the mid-80s into the lower 70s. That wind finally flips around to more of a northerly direction, and we get a lot less humid air working its way in. We'll give you that full 7-day forecast coming up later in the newscast.
All right, thanks, Justin. A 52-year-old man is now in jail after threatening his ex-girlfriend with a knife. Police say it happened close to 1 a.m. this morning. They were called to the 1600 block of 32nd Avenue South for a disturbance. The victim says she went out to her car and noticed her ex-boyfriend, Timothy Lightfoot, in the passenger seat. Authorities say Lightfoot left the car and was verbally threatening and chasing the victim with a knife. Lightfoot was arrested for 2 counts of terrorizing and attempted aggravated domestic. Authorities have identified the teenager who died in a fatal ATV crash in Polk County as 16-year-old Jude Olson of Fertile, Minnesota. The crash happened on Thursday, July 2nd, near Fertile. Authorities say Olson lost control of his ATV, hit a tree, and then died. A man is now facing several charges after being issued one of the highest speeding tickets in North Dakota. 27-year-old Gunnar Severson is in jail for fleeing, reckless driving, and reckless endangerment. Police say they clocked him going 153 miles an hour on his motorcycle by New Rockford this past Friday. He was chased onto the Spirit Lake Reservation, but officers stopped the chase for safety reasons. Later in the day, he was spotted in New Rockford, where he was arrested. He's also in jail on an outstanding warrant from Ward County. At a time when police officers around the nation are under scrutiny, the Grand Forks Police Department has put out a survey for the community in hopes of improving their interactions with the public. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with officers today who say while the survey isn't new, it came at an interesting time.
It's a simple 5-question survey.
We asked people to rate their last contact with particular officers, how their behavior was, how we're doing as a police department in our community.
But with more eyes and criticism on officers in the U.S. now more than ever, it seems like the perfect time for Grand Forks Police Department's questionnaire.
Once we compile them, I'll go back and look through and see how we rated in each question overall, whether it's a score in the 5 range, the 4 range, 3. Are there scores in the 2s or the 1s? I usually read every single comment to get an understanding of what we're doing good and what we can improve upon.
However, Mo says the survey's timing has nothing to do with what's happening across the country, saying the questionnaire is done every couple of years to make sure officers are still better serving the community.
We're looking for for actual feedback from our agency and our community, and we want to see how we're doing locally. I know that there's a lot of reforms being called for on a national level, but we do want to see how we're doing in our community and those populations within our community.
Mo says the survey is anonymous and open until early September, adding you don't need to have interacted with officers in order to fill it out.
If it's something where they want to see us in one particular area of town more so than previous, or different arterial roadways or minor roadways, comments are welcome. We want to see the perspective of our community.
In Grand Forks, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Grand Forks Police say the survey is open until September 15th. You can find the link on our VNL News app. Just click on this story. 4 years to the day a police officer killed a driver during a traffic stop, Minnesota has updated its driver's manual with a goal of protecting drivers and police when a driver has a gun in the vehicle. A police officer shot and killed Philando Castile outside Minneapolis on July 6, 2016, during a traffic stop. Castile's mother, Valerie, pressed the Minnesota Department of Public Safety to update the state's driver's manual with guidance on what to do if there is a gun in a vehicle. For the full list of driver's manual changes, you can head over to our VNL News app. State health officials are confirming 33 new cases of COVID-19 across the state of North Dakota. The total number of active cases is now 419. Of the new cases, 17 were reported from Cass County. No new deaths have been linked to COVID-19, and the death toll remains at 80. There are 22 patients currently hospitalized. Over 3,300 are listed as recovered. In Minnesota, the state health department is confirming 434 new cases of COVID-19, with 3 more deaths linked to the illness. In total, there have been 1,474 deaths linked to COVID-19, and there are currently 258 patients hospitalized. There are now 3,188 active cases in Minnesota. Nearly 34,000 people are listed as recovered. President Donald Trump has been criticized for claiming most coronavirus cases are, in his words, harmless. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
The White House is defending President Trump's 4th of July speech, in which he appeared to downplay surging coronavirus cases.
99% of which are totally harmless.
The claim came even as the number of cases rose in most states heading into the holiday weekend. The White House says the president was pointing out death rates for most people are low.
The vast majority of Americans who contract coronavirus will come out on the other side of this. Of course, he takes this very seriously. Of course, no one wants to see anyone in this country contract COVID.
Deaths from the virus are down, but health experts worry that could change.
The total number of deaths is going to start going up again as the number of hospitalizations starts to spike again. So we're going to see deaths creep up, and I wouldn't be surprised in the next 2 weeks to see deaths go over 1,000.
The president's re-election campaign announced he will hit the road again this weekend to hold another in-person campaign rally, this time in New Hampshire, where coronavirus cases have been declining. Attendees will be given masks and encouraged to wear them. 8 campaign staffers tested positive after setting up the president's Tulsa, Oklahoma rally last month.
I know that we had a few people on our advanced team that came down with it, but I'm not aware of anything that came from the Tulsa rally.
Herman Cain, the co-chair of Black Voices for Trump, was hospitalized with the coronavirus 9 days after attending the Tulsa rally, where he was photographed without wearing a mask. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Donald Trump Jr.'s girlfriend, Kimberly Guilfoyle, who is also a fundraiser for President Trump's campaign, has also tested positive for COVID-19. She also attended the Tulsa rally last month. A federal judge says he is shutting down the Dakota Access Pipeline until more environmental reviews can be done. The pipeline has been carrying oil for 3 years, but the U.S. district judge said the pipeline remains highly controversial under federal environmental law. He also said a more extensive review is necessary. The judge wrote that even though the disruption will be significant, he says the pipeline must be shut down. This pipeline caused weeks of protests in North Dakota and cost the state millions of dollars. Country music and Southern rock legend Charlie Daniels has died at age 83. According to his publicist, Daniels died this morning at Summit Medical Center in Tennessee after suffering a stroke. Fans across music genres will remember the Charlie Daniels Band's signature tune, The Devil Went Down to Georgia. The Country Music Hall of Fame and Grand Ole Opry member was not only well known for his award-winning hits, Daniels used his platform to support military veterans and underprivileged children. Still ahead on Valley News Live at 5, an exclusive interview with 2 women who lost loved ones in police killings.
And we're still tracking that strong storm about 8 miles north of Fargo. It should miss the city, but it should hit areas just off to the east of Fargo. We will have that full forecast coming up after the break.